Ahmad Rashad checks in with Stephon Marbury, now starring for his hometown New York Knicks.
I can kick that one up.
Man, that's why they're here. Playing like sit back, man. This isn't going to be the smoothest ride.
And Summer Sanders gets some pointers from another point guard. Steve Nash dishes on what it takes to play the position.
Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful edition of Inside Stuff. Now, as a kid growing up in Coney Island, Stephon Marbury had a dream to make it to the NBA, but that was only the beginning. His ultimate dream was to make it to the NBA and also play for his hometown New York Knickerbockers. Well, the first part of that dream came true back in '96, but part two had to wait until last month when Stephon made his pilgrimage to the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden.
My game is like poetry. When you watch me play, it's like I'm making music. When you watch me play, it's like I make everything effortless. That's my game. I think that's Coney Island style. That's what it's all about. And in Coney Island, that's where I learned that from.
In the house, in the project, Stephon used to just always act like he's shooting the ball. He'd take a coat hanger and make him a basket, and he would shoot the ball.
This is the garden. This is where it all began. This is where it started. Everybody out here know how I used to be on the court. You can ask anybody, they'll tell you, man, Steph, you couldn't never get him off the court. My mom used to send me to the store, and I'd be gone for like an hour and a half. She'd be like, man, where is this boy at? She see me running up and down the court. She just started screaming to the top of her voice, Stephon!
No matter where he went, he always took his basketball. The first thing you would hear was the ball.
This little round ball, my brother told me, it could take you all around the world. This ball right here could do so many things. He's just embedded in my mind that if you work hard, you can do anything. I mean, I pretty much knew I was going to the NBA for when I was younger. You know, because I knew that I was always better than the kids that was my age.
It's new, it's better, it's what I live for.
I got traded, man, it was like, it's too good to be true. I'll never forget when I first came back, this reporter, he said, you must really, really love where you come from. I said, man, only if you knew.
What a night for the kid from New York City.
I'm just ecstatic at the fact that I got the opportunity to come in and be able to play for the New York Knicks. This is what I wanted. This is my dream.
Even though Stephon moved back to the Eastern Conference, there are still a bunch of talented point guards out west, like Steve Nash, for example. You'll see Steve in action tomorrow when the Mavs take on the Kings right here on ABC. Now he tells us what it takes to play the point guard position.
Hi, I'm Steve Nash, the Dallas Mavericks, here to talk to you about 6 important qualities that make a great point guard. Vision. It's really important to be aware of where all your teammates and opponents are on the court. That way you can make your teammates better and really put a lot of pressure on the defense.
Alley-oop. There it is. There is that. How about that?
Unselfishness. It's really important as the point guard to share the ball, get all your teammates involved, make them feel good about themselves. In the end, it'll come back to help your team.
A great feed from Nash. Nash inside the Fortune.
Don't blink your eyes, you'll miss some great plays.
Toughness. It's really important as the point guard to be a physical leader as well, especially being the smallest guy on the court. If you'll be able to play with a big heart and give up your body, your teammates will really respect you.
We would all be lucky to have a heart as big as yours.
Steve Nash has turned in one jaw-dropping play tonight, Elton. And it continues to be Steve Nash's night.
Touch. It's really important as the point guard to shoot with range. That way you can spread the floor and make the defense come out and guard you so you can penetrate. It's also important as a point guard to be able to make shots when the money's on the line.
3 minutes. Comes into Nash. He got it away for 3. Oh, above that.
No more, no less. That's a magic.
Quickness. As a point guard, it's really important to be quick with the ball. If you can get inside the defense, you can make the game easy for your team.
Screens for Nash. He turns the corner. All the way to the stop. Steve Nash hits another one. It's the 5th turnover on the Lakers. Nash down the middle. Nobody denies him. Sends up a teardrop and gets it.
Leadership. It's really important as the point guard to be a leader and to be able to get your teammates organized, get them in the right spots in order to be very effective as a team.
Get in full gear. I'm sure that you'll care in the long run when you got full gear. That means authority. Word.
So there you have it. 6 qualities that make a great point guard. I'm Steve Nash. I'll see you later.
Hey, yo, this is Ja Rule, and I want the inside stuff. Holla.
Coming up, Tim Duncan takes on all challengers at his charity bowling event.
If I bowled the whole game, there would be no problem with beating you.
And all the best plays in jam session.
Quick play by LeBron James on the steal. Here he comes. High-flying dunk, LeBron James.
Now that's the inside stuff.
NBA Inside Stuff on ABC is brought to you by Sprite, Obey Your Thirst, and Pontiac, fuel for the NBA on ABC. It's Mike Bibby and the Sacramento Kings against Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern, right here on ABC.
The Detroit Pistons are one of the best teams in the East, and there's one very big reason why. Ben Wallace. The 2-time Defensive Player of the Year ranks 2nd in the league in rebounds and block shots. But stats only tell part of his story. We took some time to find out what makes Big Ben tick.
Ben Wallace, power forward / center for the Detroit Pistons.
He's a bad man.
You know, my forte is defense. You know, that's what I bring to the table, you know, night in and night out. You know, coming out, stepping up to the challenge. You know, if a guy having a great night, then, you know, it's my job to try and contain him. You know, you can't stop no one guy in this league, but hopefully you can contain him and keep him from hurting your team too bad. So, you know, I come out and, you know, I lay it all on the line, do the little things that nobody else really care to do.
He came flying in and swallowed it away.
He's what our league should be about. You know, he averaged 7 points a game, and he's probably the most beloved player in the city.
Dumps it off to Ben for a dynamite dunk, and that'll get him going. The crowd loved that.
Ben is, he has all those moves that the guards do and the little tricks and all that. He just doesn't have the opportunity to do it because he's about business. He just wants to rebound and block shots.
Blocked by Wallace. He got it out of there.
I like to go out on the floor, play hard, you know, take care of my business, you know, get my work done. Off the floor, you know, I like to just, you know, chill, do little things around the house, relax a little bit. I love this game because I think of it day and night, night and day.
We have such a false idea how this game should be played and reward players that score a lot sometimes, but don't always help their team win. And this guy without scoring gives you a chance to win every night, and that's a heck of an accomplishment.
In Rewind, get ready for a revealing look at the week that was, courtesy of Chucky Atkins and Jazz owner Larry Miller, who show off just a little too much. Meanwhile, Jim Jackson is too late, Dikembe Mutombo is too eager, Paul Pierce too shifty, and Allen Iverson is just too quick. In the latest edition of Rewind. The beat goes on in Rewind Thursday. Jason Richardson shows off his spin to a globetrotter, and then he gets fancy on the court. Off the pass from Mike Dunleavy.
Jason inside 360, and it's in.
My main man, Jason Williams, can play for the Globetrotters, too.
Launches one from half court. 3 at the buzzer is good.
Friday, here's here's a look at Milwaukee's biggest fans. And here's a look at Aaron Williams and the one that got away.
And Aaron Williams just boggles one.
Meanwhile, Carmelo and Marcus show us how to play the two-man game. Saturday, everybody's going retro, including Jazz owner Larry Miller, who's not afraid to give us the throwback.
You see Larry Miller taking his walk after suiting up here tonight.
Oh, my goodness. From retro to rookie, LeBron James with the sweet take.
All the way to the rack. LeBron James, you gotta see it to believe it. That was scintillating.
LeBron James, he's my main man, but no one can do it on both ends of the court like Allen Iverson.
Taken away by Iverson from behind. Loose ball, Iverson, all the way to the hole.
Sunday, you gotta have great springs to pull off a play like this one. Amari Stoudemire gets up for the power slam. I guess it was a swat. The guy was trying to slam, and then he swatted. Monday, Chucky Atkins is flying by the seat of his pants. Come on, man, put your pants on. Anyway, Jim Jackson looks great, but couldn't pull off this buzzer beater.
Here is Jackson putting it up one-handed. What a shot by Jim Jackson. One of the most spectacular you'll ever see.
Tuesday, you never know what kind of moves you'll see at an NBA game. You'll see Paul Pierce. He proves why they call him the truth.
The spin and the field goal.
Wednesday, Katino Mobley is looking just a little ducky, while New York's Dikembe Mutombo just can't get lucky.
Oh, Mutombo thought he had a wraparound dunk.
Talk about wraparounds. How about Marcus Camby with this wraparound?
Camby, look at that, to the net.
And finally, the Toronto Raptors have had their ups and downs this season, and Coach Kevin O'Neal was asked about the Jekyll and Hyde nature of his team. He said, and I quote, "I'm not sure which is Jekyll and which is Hyde. Is Hyde the good one? Then you want to minimize the numbers of times you're Jekyll. The more elite your team is, the more Hyde you have." Well, I hate to tell you, Kevin, but you got it all backwards. Dr. Jekyll is the good one, and Mr. Hyde is the bad one. So the better teams have more Jekylls, and the bad teams have more Hydes. The good teams also have more wins. The bad teams have more losses. And as any coach will tell you, it's much better to win a Jekyll than it is to lose your Hyde. We'll be back with more stuff right after this. Sorry.
NBA Inside Stuff on ABC is brought to you by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And Xbox. It's good to play together.
When it comes to business on the court, Gary Payton and Bobby Jackson couldn't be further apart, since the Lakers and the Kings are bitter rivals. But as for business off the court, they couldn't be any closer. Gary and Bobby are partners in a company that designs custom rims, giving them a chance to work together to show off their style.
Time for ignition and straight up automobile.
Most NBA players are into customizing their cars. And we kind of jointly together came up with the idea of there's a million wheel companies out there, how are we going to distinguish ourselves? Well, we play pro ball. Let's go to some ball players and do a custom wheel for them and put their autograph, engrave their autograph directly on the wheel. Henry grew up with Gary Payton, they're childhood friends. And so we approached Gary first, and he was all gung-ho about it.
I told Gary that I was going to make something that really reflected his personality. You know, that's why I wanted a directional rim. Gary on the basketball court, he's all over. He's all over. He's direction. He's all over. He's all over. So I kind of put it that way.
As soon as I seen it on my Escalade, I was like, yeah, this is it. I took it to a shoot around the next day, and like 5 of the guys want some rims on it, but they don't want to pay for them. So I told them, I told them it ain't gonna work that way.
Go, 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 go! My good friend Bobby Jackson has a new business, making wheels, very expensive wheels. And I have a car back home that's Yugo and needs new wheels, so I came here to pick it up or something.
Bobby actually came in to our business and sat down, and we actually showed him a design, showed him a wheel, and he made changes.
Drew up all the designs. So with Bobby's wheel, Bobby likes designs with a 5 or 6 spokes. And so we kind of had an idea of what he liked. When the sample came out, he said it was too flat. So, you know, if you look at his wheel, it kind of has a curve on it, and he wanted rivets all around the edge.
Yeah, they did a great job with the wheel, as you can see. And, you know, I'm happy with what they came out with.
Being in LA, I see so many cars, so many different kind of styles of cars. I think they're going to be out everywhere.
People are always going to buy cars. And, you know, people are always going to want rims upon their cars. So it's not a bad business to get into.
So what makes a player dive on the court for a loose ball? What makes him jump into the seats for a save? Whether it's courage, desire, or just a lot of heart, some players know how to flat out hustle.
Hustle, a dance fad from the 70s. Hustle, giving everything you got on the court.
I believe the phrase is heart and hustle.
Hustling is something that you have in your heart, your willpower. You just won't be denied.
For me, I know that I think hustle allows me to overcome a lot of the attributes that I may not have been gifted with.
It's just like a lot of things that you can do. You're not going to get credit for it. You just have to be able to do it.
You're not a good hustler unless you got floor burns, and you got to have 10 plus to even be considered for that category.
Boy, he really made that play as he went diving into the floor.
Every loose ball is important. If you come up with a couple of those balls, I mean, that can be a turning point of you making a playoff or not. So hustling is very important. You got to get to a loose ball so you can get extra possession on offense.
I'd rather have the hustle guy than the talented guy. You know, the guy who's hustling in Game 5 is going to be the one that hustles in Game 50. His personality doesn't change.
I think it also is just a great habit to get into as a competitor and as a winner. And I know that I wouldn't have won as many games in my life or my career if I didn't hustle as much as I do. So it's very valuable and important to me, and I hopefully can continue to do it.
I think the key for being a great hustler is just having no self-sense about your body.
The guys in the expensive seats are getting their money's worth. Virtual fandom tonight.
You just got to be carefree and willing to just put it all out there, whatever it takes.
It's something that is a pride thing more than anything, whether you may be just diving for a loose ball, running, saving the ball before it go out of bounds, giving your team extra possessions. Hustling becomes a part of the game when it can change the game. Running to try to block a guy's shot who's not your man. You know, those type of things. When you can change a game, those are the hustle plays that really make a difference.
In Jam Session, we are only 3 weeks away from the biggest party on the NBA calendar, All-Star 2004 in Los Angeles. But before the party goes on the road, the celebration is right here with the best players from around the league. The song is, and this is really one of my favorite, the whole CD is so good. Party to Damascus by Wyclef featuring Missy Elliott. You know, he makes some guitar sound like a doom 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 doom. Here it is in Jam Session.
Me and Clap on this track with your wow. Heard you wanna burn us both, I hope you die. 2 liters in my trunk. Sound like gonka, 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 gonka.
I'm only here for one night, girl. I'm
because ball handle
but I love the way you move, girl, and do that belly dance. So let's play, you're my teacher, and won't you give me my first lesson?
Bar and blocks. Here's the mop.
Driving off the baseline, right, all the way to the pavement, stuff in.
Gonna go one-on-one. Back to the basket. Gibbs gonna push for the dunk. Greenwell going against Parker.
In the nighttime, say something crazy, girl. I love you. I know we meeting for the first time in the club, but this feels like a deja vu. I'll teach you.
Go Johnson.
Let's get this party going. I really get satisfied of your needs. In the morning, in the evening, in the nighttime.
Next week on Inside Stuff, we'll play Follow the Leader with Boston's Paul Pierce.
Leader, by definition, one who is in charge.
We'll play Name That Tune with Sean Mary. It's the Matrix on music.
I love music, so if it sounds good, I'm gonna listen to it, regardless of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too much country I care for, so I leave that alone.
Plus, in Jam Session, we'll play down our weekly version of Rockin' the Rim.
Richardson soars up high.
Tim Duncan can do it all. He can post up, fade away, drop step, dish and defend. He can even swim. I added that in. But can he bowl? The answer is yes. For the 5th straight year, he and his wife, Amy, invited the rest of the Spurs and the San Antonio community to take part in the Bowling for Dollars charity bowl-a-thon.
It's been a great event every year. We've got some excellent support. The funds go to help the foundation with prostate and breast cancer research. We've done some great things with it. It's been a great endeavor every year. I guess we're ready to roll here, so get down to your lanes and let's have fun today. You gotta give me a couple to roll before I get it right. Never mind about that. First roll's all right.
Well, it's a special day, you know, for Timmy and Amy. He's honoring his parents and all the other people who have been afflicted with cancer, and he feels very strongly about doing this sort of work to try and just give back whatever he can.
Bring it. All I need is 3 frames. 3 frames. Okay, this is your bowling tournament. You don't scare me.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
I'm prepared. You see this?
He'd love to see guys do stuff for the community in any way possible help the community, because the community does so much for us by coming out and supporting us, so it's good for us to come out and do something for the community.
Anytime I can help a player, especially on my own team with his foundation, to help bring awareness or raise money or funds for the kids, it's fantastic.
There's no telling how many people you touch, but that's the greatest part of it. That's the greatest part of it, that we can change somebody's life without even knowing it.
The bowl-a-thon raised $130,000, making it the most successful in the 5-year history of the event.
Bet you can't say bowl-a-thon 5 times fast.
Bowl-a-thon, bowl-a-thon,
Fast,
bowl-a-thon,
fast.
bowl-a-thon, 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 bowl-a-thon. I think it was 10. Why do you make me do those things?
You're so special. That's our show for today. We'll see you next week with more Inside Stuff.
So long, everybody. So long, everybody. So long, everybody. So long.
Bowling night in the NBA.